This is BluLunch, Sheridan College's own sports podcast, hosted by Jay and Drew.
All right, so this week on BluLunch, we got definitely some hockey. NHL hockey, we got a couple of the opening games of the season from certain teams, certain Canadian teams. We're going to hopefully get to Raptors and Lakers. I didn't watch the game, but I saw some highlights. Very interesting. I love that Steve Nash recognizes he picked the wrong team. Sorry, I said that a little prematurely. Anyways, and then hopefully we get to some NFL. Basic thing is, I said 49ers were going to get to the Super Bowl. I, therefore, am a genius, even though I didn't watch one game that the 49ers played all season. Anyways, we'll get to that hopefully. But first, I didn't want to do this, Drew, but I just, like, this is kind of a really mean thing to say, but I think we should start planning the parade.
You're one of those?
Seriously, every single time that someone has said that to me, I felt like punching them in the face.
Yeah.
But
it's not even. I don't even find it's Leaf fans anymore that say that. It's like Montreal Canadian fans. You know, they're upset that they lost.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, the Leafs are going to play in their parade now."
And I think the highlight for the Canadiens fans after Saturday's game was the fact that Alex Galchenyuk, third overall last year's draft, actually played on the second line. He was moved to the third line because he's so awful, apparently. No, he's not awful. But
he, out of all the players that impressed me the most on Montreal, it was actually Galchenyuk. It seemed every time he had the puck, he was putting it on net. He had the one shot on Scrivens that Scrivens couldn't handle.
Every time he had the puck, something was happening.
And then they took him off the line and they put Bork on, which I didn't understand.
Well,
the only thing Montreal, from watching the game on Saturday, the only thing that impressed me for Montreal, other than Carey Price, who stood on his head, would have given up, I think, 5 goals Montreal would have given up 5 goals if it wasn't for Price, was the Pacioretty, Cole, Desharnais line. They seem to have good chemistry, but other than that,
they also seem like the dirtiest line too. But that's just me.
You're just biased, though.
I can't. Am I biased?
You just don't like Montreal.
But am I biased?
You hate Montreal.
Am I biased?
You hate Montreal.
Am I biased?
Yes, you're biased.
How am I biased? Explain it to me.
Love the Leafs and you hate Montreal.
No. Okay, let's kind of dissect what you just said. Okay, I love the Leafs. I hate Montreal.
Yes.
No. I love the Leafs. Okay, that first part of the statement is true. I'm a Leaf fan. When it comes to hockey, I'm a Leaf fan. I'm a hockey fan second, but I'm a Leaf fan first. The second part of that little analysis of my thinking is inaccurate. It's not that I hate Montreal. I just hate the way they do things in game. Like okay, what happened last year? Reimer's out, 5th game of the season. They're 4-0. He's out of the 5th game of the season. They won the game, but he had to leave because Giunta hit him crossing the crease right in the head. What happened on Saturday? Well, it wasn't Giunta. I can't believe Giunta, the smallest person on that roster, injured Reimer. But anyways, it wasn't Giunta this time. Wasn't it Plekanec? I think it was Plekanec.
Who ran Scrivens?
Yeah.
Or
was it Pacioretty? I think it was Plekanec.
Plekanec is the one who got the penalty for snow icing Scrivens. And then Bozak scored.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. The very first. It was like the first 2 minutes of the game.
Oh, on the waved off goal.
Yeah, I think that was.
It was no. It was the third line. It was Prust.
Oh, it was Prust. It was Prust. I remember that.
And the Prust line. I don't know what. I think Prust is the one who scored.
And if you asked me before the game, you know, that line of Prust. With Prust, you know, is he going to run Scrivens? Yeah, I would have said he was going to run Scrivens. You know, he's not exactly an offensively gifted player.
I think it was Colby, actually.
No, it wasn't.
No?
It was Prust.
It was Colby who shot it.
But Prust, he ran into Scrivens like the...
it was that line.
I mean, that's the way they play hockey. The only goals that Canadians can score are garbage goals by running the goalie. No, you laugh, but it's true. Almost like they were the lowest goal-scoring team last season out of any team in the league, even Columbus, okay? The reason is because they run goalies, and that's how they score goals.
You just say that because they ran 2 Toronto Maple Leaf goalies. They're
2 years in a row, 2 openers. Actually, not 2 openers.
Well,
in
2
a row.
openers in Montreal.
2 openers in Montreal. That's what I meant. Anyways,
I think we've talked enough about Montreal.
Yeah, I know. Why are we talking? This is supposed to be a Toronto show. We're talking about Montreal.
Leafs win 2-1. I don't know about you, but when Gianta scored with 5-6 minutes left, I kind of said, here we go again. I was expecting the tying goal to come. And for the next 4 or 5 minutes, the Leafs played really well. They really didn't give any chances to Montreal. And they were able to hold on. And what impressed me the most was the team defense. I thought Koska played well.
I was just going to say, who are your 3 stars of the game?
I know CBC had Ben Scrivens as the number 1. I don't
know.
think I would have put Scrivens
I wouldn't have put Scrivens as the first star. Or any star, for that matter.
No, I would have given him number 2. I mean, he looked a little shaky at times, but again, it's not...
So who's your first star? Me personally, I wouldn't put Kadri as a first star because he didn't score the winner. I would put Koska. Mike Koska as the first star. Defensively...
I would have put Carey Price. If it wasn't, I would have put Carey Price. If it wasn't for, he made a lot of.
I don't know.
He made a lot of big saves. If it wasn't for him, I think Leafs would have. It would have been 5-6-1.
Isn't that you give the Leafs that much credit? Like, I know, whatever. I'm a Leaf fan, but I'm realistic.
Realistically, though, they outplayed Montreal Saturday night.
Yeah, but
they outplayed them in all facets.
It's not that difficult to outplay Montreal.
Thing though,
they were playing a beer league team essentially.
There goes your biased opinion again.
But listen.
But the thing is, it's opening night. It's in Montreal. We've had half a season gone. You would think Montreal's going to come out roaring at home, and they didn't.
But how?
Toronto grounded
Why would you
them.
think that though?
Because it goes for any team. Especially a Canadian team.
I don't know.
With a rich history like Montreal and the celebration beforehand with Cornwallis and Vincent Domfus, and you think the crowd's pumping, and and next thing you know, who's the one who took the penalty? I think it was Cole took the penalty early on, and then they took another one, and then Kadri scores, and then the win was let out of the sails. You
should have heard me when Kadri scored.
Oh, I think I did hear you from Hamilton.
It was ridiculous. I mean, if you told me that the first game of the season, after all this speculation over, where Kadri was going to start, where his fact
just one sec. So to answer your question, I would have gone Price, Scrivens, Kadri. But go on.
Okay, not Koska, really?
No.
Okay. Anyways, with Kadri, all this speculation, running rampant about him being included for a trade. Involving Luongo. And I love in the game how the 3 players that are in that trade, the 3 players that would have been included in that trade had the best games out of any player on the ice.
Who needs Luongo more now? Vancouver, Toronto. I know it's only one game.
Okay, we're gonna get to Vancouver, because trust me, we're gonna get to Vancouver after we're done with the Leafs game. But yeah. In my opinion, Mike Koska, best player on the ice. When it comes to the players involved in the potential Luongo trade, which I think is never going to happen now, Kadri and Bozak and Scrivens obviously had a decent game. Those were all rumored to be in this marvelous trade that was going to make the Leafs a playoff contender. Well, sure, they played a bottom-feeding team. The Leafs, I've heard so much crap about, coming from fans and coming from media about how, oh wow, they won. Who cares? It's they're both bottom-feeding teams. The better team won. Let's move on. But see, it's a 48-game schedule, which means one win is worth I feel like I've done the math for this. 10%, not 10%, 5% of the season. Something like that.
The beauty to a 48-game season is if you start off well, you're already in the driver's seat. And I know it's early and it's only been 2 games for some teams, but the New York Rangers are 0-2. Philadelphia Flyers are 0-2. Vancouver